Guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be telling you guys two stories about the times that I've gotten pulled over. One of them was actually like 2 or 3 years ago and it's just really funny because I didn't even have my license at the time. And then the other one happened really recently, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was just really stupid. So they're both really funny stories and I just felt like sharing them with you guys. So for the first story, this happened my junior year of high school and it happened with two of my friends. And I'm just going to say different names just because, like, I don't want them to, like, be uncomfortable with me sharing, like, their business. So I'm just going to say Sophie and Juliana. Those are not their names. So we all were like, oh, yeah, it's New Year's Eve. It was on New Year's Eve. We were like, oh, yeah, like, let's, like, you know, obviously have a good time or whatever. And they really, really were set on drinking that night. And I was like, honestly, if you guys want to drink, I'll drive. Because, I don't know, I didn't really care to get drunk that much, so I was like, I'll drive, like, it's no problem, whatever. And then, my friend Juliana was like, okay, cool, like, you can drive my car, just be careful because you don't have your license. I was like, yeah, I get it, totally, whatever, got it, good. So we all got ready at Sophie's house, and then we're getting ready to, like, leave out of her neighborhood, and this is literally less than a minute into me driving, and we come to pull out of her neighborhood, and I had to turn right, and it was a pretty busy street, and I was looking to my left to make sure there was no cars coming, and there was this huge bush, and, like, I couldn't see, so I was like, oh my god, I can't see, and Juliana was obviously in the passenger seat because it's her car, so I said, hey, like, can you see down there and just tell me when I'm good to go? And she's like, yeah, and she's like, okay, you're good, and I'm like, okay, so I go, and right when I turn to go, I hear a honk, like, really loud, and I was like, oh, shit, and I completely cut someone off. Like, I don't know if she just, like, didn't see, she said she didn't see them, but I just think it's crazy, because, like, obviously they were right there, because right when I pulled out, I heard the honk, so apparently I cut them off really, really bad, and I freak out, obviously. I don't have my license, I don't want them to, like, get mad and, like, follow me, so I just drive for maybe, like, 2 or 3 seconds, and then I see, like, a shopping center up to the right, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna pull in there, whatever. So I go into the shopping center, and I park at a McDonald's, and, we were, like, parking, we were just like, oh, shit, like, kind of, like, freaking out, but then the car, came in, and they circled around me, and then they left, and I was like, okay, they're gone, like, it's fine, no big deal. And then my friends were like, oh, like, we're going to go into the McDonald's to go pee really quick, and we'll be right out. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be here alone. Like, I'll just go with you guys. So we all go into the McDonald's to pee, and then afterwards, they wanted to get a cup of ice because they had alcohol in the car and they wanted to start drinking. So they got a cup of ice, and then as we're walking back to the car, we see 2 police pull in the parking lot, and we're just like, okay, like, don't act sus, you know, whatever. So we get into the car, and I throw Juliana the keys because I'm like, just in case, you know, just take the keys, it's your car, whatever. So she's in the driver's seat, I'm in the passenger seat, and then my friend Sophie is in the back. And the 2 police cars pull up on each side of us. There's one on my side and one on Juliana's side. And oh my god, it was so funny. So they tell us to, like, roll the windows down. So we roll the windows down, and there's a guy police officer on my side and a girl police officer on her side. So she asks, hey, like, we got a call, you cut someone off, are you under the influence? Because obviously it's New Year's Eve, so, like, if you cut someone off, they think you're drinking. And, like, my friend was like, oh, yeah, like, I accidentally cut her off, like, I didn't mean to, it was an accident. And they were like, okay, what are your plans for the night? Like, what are you guys doing tonight? And my friend was like, oh, we're just gonna go back to my friend Sophie's house, she lives right over there, and we're gonna, like, watch a movie or something. And then they were like, oh, okay. And then the guy officer on my side says, hi, I'm just wondering why there's a cup of ice in the cup holder. And I looked at him, and I don't know why, but the first thing that comes to mind, I say, oh, yeah, I have a habit of chewing ice, so I just went in there and got it because I like to chew ice. He's like, okay, yeah, for sure. And then he goes, and he's just kind of looking around the car, and right next to me under a flannel is a Four Loko, and my friend in the back had lean, and I'm pretty sure there was also marijuana in the car. I'm pretty sure that there was, so yeah, that was really intense. And then he said, okay, I have to, like, write up a report, whatever, and we're like, okay, so he starts writing stuff down. He asked me, hey, like, what time is it? I'm like, okay, so I click on my phone screen. Keep in mind, he's right next to me. And my friend Juliana makes a face right when he asks me what time it is, and I reach for my phone, and I'm kind of like, what? Like, why are you making that face? I click on my phone, and as a joke, me and Juliana had taken a picture of us in a mirror in a dressing room at a store, and it was just like a nude, and she had set it as my wallpaper as a joke. And right when I clicked on the phone screen and the officer looked at my phone screen for the time, I was like, oh shit, because it was a nude picture. And he was like, you need to change that right away. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll change it right now. So I go on and I change it. He's like, that's like gross. And I, okay, sorry. And then afterwards, 2 other cops pull up right in front of us. So they called for backup. So we're like, oh crap, we're fucked. If they ask to search the car, we're literally done. So the other 2 cops pull up, they just stay in their car, and they just ask us a few more questions, and they ended up letting us go. So we were like, okay, cool. And then my friend was like, all right, let's go to the party. Like, I'll drive there. And so I was like, okay. So my friend Juliana is driving us to the party. We're maybe 2 minutes away from the McDonald's we got pulled over at, and we get pulled over again. And I was like, oh my god, like, they know. Like, this is the same cop. And he walks up to the window, and he says, hi, do you know that your lights aren't on? And she was like, oh, I didn't know, sorry. He said, are you under the influence? And she said no. And it's just funny because this whole time none of us were under the influence. We were literally just being stupid, and that made us look sus just because it was New Year's Eve. And that was just hilarious to me. And then we get to the party, and they start drinking and stuff like that. And then that party got rolled, so we go to another party, and we're headed down the street of the party, and we get to the corner, like, it was a cul-de-sac, so I get to the end of the cul-de-sac to park, and then a police officer starts pulling up, like, towards us, and I was like, there's no way. And I look in the car, and I was like, oh my god, that's the police officer that pulled us over. And the police officer that pulled us over in the first place had told us if they see us at a party, then they're going to call our parents because we lied to them, because we said we were just going to, like, go home. And so we saw them, and I was like, oh shit. And so all my friends start throwing everything out. So we literally, there was a bush, and they started throwing out all their Four Locos and, like, throwing out the lean, and it was so freaking funny. And yeah, we were fine. The officer didn't see us. So yeah, it's just a really funny story. Like, I just laugh every time. And then the second one, this happened like 2 weeks ago on my way home from school. So I was having really bad allergies like 2 weeks ago, and I was sneezing a lot, and my eyes would just get really itchy. And I'm driving home from school, and I start sneezing, and I don't know about you guys, but I can't keep my eyes like open when I sneeze. Like, they close, and I'm sneezing and my eyes are closing. And so, like, obviously I guess I was swerving a little, and I didn't even know there was a cop behind me. And then the sirens go off, and he pulls me over, and I was like, oh shit. So I pull over, and I'm like, he's like, hi, like, are you where you were swerving? And I was like, oh, like, sorry, officer, like, I was like, I have really bad allergies right now. I was sneezing. He's like, okay, like, can I ask you if you're under the influence of anything? And I was like, no. And, like, I kind of looked in the mirror, and then I realized my eyes were so red and glossy. Like, it looked like I was high, but I wasn't. It's just because of my allergies. And I was like, no, I'm not, like, under the influence or anything. Like, I just have allergies, and I was sneezing really bad. Like, I promise. And he was like, oh, like, okay. And he was like, next time if you're sneezing like that, you need to pull over, because obviously I'm going to lead to thinking that you are under some kind of influence. I was like, oh, okay, like, I got it. And then he was like, okay, go ahead. So yeah, the first time we just got lucky. We were totally doing something wrong, and it was illegal, and I didn't have my license. So I'm really glad that my friend jumped into the driver's seat when we were walking back to the car from McDonald's, because if she hadn't, we would have been screwed, because the officer did ask her for her license. So yeah. Oh, and they also gave her crap because she hadn't had her license for a year yet, and she had me and Sophie in the car, and you're not allowed to do that. So yeah, it was just really shitty. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching.